Hey, YouTube and Instagram. Nope, I'm sorry, not Instagram. YouTube and my podcast listeners, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm gonna call this episode 86. Maybe 8 eBay sales and lessons learned from it. It's We are a day or so after Fanatics Fest. I got back safe. I know some people are still stuck, woefully, terribly stuck in the terrible place to be in New York City. Kidding aside, I hope they get home safe. But this is not going to be a summary or recap of Fanatics Fest. I'm still trying to edit long form with my with vlogging, and I did post up a video for kind of like my day zero of travel, which really had no show content. It was just the reason I even made it is because I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to vlog. I'm trying to figure out how to do things quicker and shorter. But for the meantime, when it comes to long form, I think I really do like podcasts where I just get to talk extemporaneously, and I hope some of you find it interesting. But I had eBay sales end last, the night I came back, and I had some raw sales, and on Sunday I had some slab sales, and on Monday. So as I was getting this ready, packed and shipped to go, before work, during my lunchtime, and all that, like I just figured, why don't I just kind of show the process, or maybe just kind of talk out what I am seeing with my sales, and maybe just talk along with what I'm learning as I go along, because this whole thing, like if any of this could be useful to any of you, that would be great. So having said that, I had about 25 all PSA slabs, which, when I posted about it on an Instagram, I had someone say, "Well, why don't you just vault a PSA?" I wanted to talk to PSA about vaulting at Fanatics Fest. That was just a part of a lot of things that I wanted to do that I couldn't do. I just, met so many people. As you can hear with my voice, if you're a longtime listener, I have partially lost my voice. Yesterday was a lot worse, but I'm gonna try and push through. I'm gonna try to keep this under 30 minutes without any pauses. So here we go. So the first card is a 2021 Bowman University Penix Jr. Chrome Prospects Pink Refractor PSA 9. I pack pulled this, sent it out for grading for $16. It did not get a 10. And so I know I'm trying to show this on video and I'm getting maybe a little bit of a blur. But here we go. But I'm going to do my best to make this audio as well. So, or audio only. So this is just like a pink refractor, and it is a college card, not numbered. And I put it up for $1 auction or 99-cent start. It ended up being sold for $12. I think the comps were going somewhere in the teens anyway. Shipping $4.50. The tax the buyer pays, but then also comes out on the back end, so it kind of washes out. But having said that, the total order was $17.74, and transaction fees on this was $2.52, and the shipping label cost $4.02 for an order earning of $9.96. So I lost probably about $6 just with the grading, and then of course, buying a blaster box. If it got a 10, I would have been net positive on it, or not the whole box, but it would have helped recoup the cost of the box. But um, and for the people who are kind of watching the video on YouTube, I do have these little thank you notes that I try to do for my buyers. And I also only recently found out about packing slips. I get them from people when I buy on eBay. I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know that you could just click around and print it out. So I am going to start doing that. And with every slab, I do try to use cardboard. This all came from an Amazon box. And I had like, I think like 20, 21 slab sized cardboard pieces, which is pretty cool. And so and then they're going to go into a bubble mailer. And when I do multiple cards or multiple slabs in one shipment, I like to use, and they're not a sponsor, but they gave me some free stuff, card coats. They have like this precision mailer. So this is not a sponsored post, video, podcast. So let's move along. The next card I wanted to show was a card that I already that was already graded, but I did buy this for about $100, or if not 100, like close to 100. And it is this. Oh, it helps when I go like further back. Okay, YouTube, you may have to zoom in, but this reduces the blur. 2021 Donruss Optic Spencer Torkelson rated prospect signature Mojo, and I know Mojos are usually out of 25, but this is a not licensed Donruss Optic product, and it's out of 99. PSA 10, bought it for 100. I was like, I tried to sell it around 80, 70. I had a buyer. It was actually David, the person who was in my prior podcast, who I did a roadside travel with to set up at the Greenville, North Carolina card show, who's local to the area. And he messaged me, and sometimes I get really bogged down with my messages. I didn't respond back in time. He actually wanted to buy it for a price that I was, it was going to be more than $37, and he didn't buy it online. This is going to, and I'm not going to show any people's names or where they live, but this is going to a maybe a Spencer Torkelson fan in New York. I thought it might go to someone in Detroit, but it's going to New York. Next up, I have, oh man, my voice. Apologies for the audio quality with my voice here. So next up, we have a 2023 Topps Cosmic Chrome Refractor Aqua Equinox, which is out of 199 of Juan Soto, and this is a PSA 10 Pop 4. And I put a little gem emoji in the eBay title, but this is going to New Jersey, likely a Yankee fan. But this card I pack pulled when I did my first ever trade night in Alexandria, Virginia, and it was one of the parallel serial numbered cards, and I graded it myself, grading again like $16, $18. I think a comp recently did for maybe around 70 or 80. So the person who bought this definitely got a good deal. I try to shop it around. Again, these are cards that I tried shopping around. I wasn't getting any luck, and I just wanted to get cash positive on them, even if I was taking a loss. So this card sold for $36. I'll just do a quick recap of the price breakdown. 36 plus 450 in shipping, and then transaction fees was a very awesome number, $5.55. Shipping label was $3.86 for a total order earnings of $31.09. And because I am doing a podcast and I'm recording on StreamYard, I don't think I'll be able to do like the cap cut. Maybe I will. I don't know. But for now, I'm just going to run through the cards and try to do this again within 30 minutes. So this next card is the first card that's going, first and only out of this batch of 8 cards that's going international. And this is let's continue the the stereotypes. It is going to China. It is a 2002 Hoops Stars Yao Ming Future Stars PSA 10 Pop 6. This card I think I bought for about $50. Now this is really interesting because it's going to China. I make all of my listings available or visible internationally, and I know that there are buyers who have like Ship My Cards and other services that they're able to get their cards shipped to them internationally in one bulk, in one fell swoop. For this person, they want me to ship it to them directly. Immediately after they won, they did send me a note saying, "Please handle with care and thank you so much." And I was like, "Yes, no, absolutely, I will." But this sold for $59. I think that might be under comps again, but it's okay. They paid $18.01 in shipping, and the shipping label itself is going to cost $18.01. So I guess eBay calculates it precisely for that type of thing. And the transaction fees on this were $9.02. For some reason, they didn't put in the tax, what the buyer paid and what I'll have to pay at the end. But I don't know. I don't know how eBay does this. The order details. The order earnings was $49.98. So that is $50 on this card, almost 50 flat. And if I bought it for a little bit over that and the comps are a little bit over that, again, just got to move on from it. And I do wish the person well who bought this from China. Fourth card. This is fun because this is one of the cards that GameStop wanted to buy for $1. And I knew it was more than $1. Okay, GameStop, I definitely knew this was more than $1. But let's see. I have here. I have to scroll around for it. It's a 2022 Contenders Treylon Burks rookie auto on card. PSA 10 Pop 22. So it's Contenders rookie ticket, just a classic look. I love the old, season ticket from Upper Deck, that motif. I pack pulled a Tim Hardaway when I was a kid. So I do think these look really cool. The on-card variations, if you will, are certainly more coveted. And so for this card, let me click on it. It looks like it's going to Arkansas. So Tennessee, Arkansas, I guess they're close by. But this is going to, the total was $27, shipping $4.50. Transaction fee, shipping label was $4.02. So I made, when I say I made 48 cents, there's, the cost of the bubble mailers, the cost of like all of this. And this is the first time that I'm actually going to be sending these stickers, these Denny card stickers. I might try to feature them on YouTube too and say, hey, if you want to get some stickers, let me know and maybe we could do a sticker swap because we're definitely doing that at Fanatics Fest. I got these done just before Fanatics Fest. But having said that, this transaction fees were $4.53 for a order earnings total of $22.95. And this card, I can't remember what I bought for it raw, but raw plus the cost of grading, which I did grade myself. I definitely lost money on this card too, but again, it's okay. Happy for this person in, what did I say, Arkansas? Yeah, Arkansas. Next card is a card that I bought from Mark Hill, the founder, owner, president of my card post. It is a 2013 Finest Adrian Peterson Refractor, not numbered, but it is a beautiful, shiny, early 2000, pre-Panini, Topps Finest PSA 10 Adrian Peterson. Now, the interesting thing about this, and I did put this in the listing title, is it's a Pop 4 card. But right, low pop counts, it's not that this isn't a really cool card. It's just that people are like, well, it's not expensive enough to submit. It's just a non-numbered refractor of, how many years of Adrian. This is so far from being a rookie card, right? I mean, I can't remember exactly when Adrian Peterson was drafted, but I know he was on many of my fantasy football teams whenever I could get a chance if I was drafting like in the top 3. But it's a cool card, and I got it from my in my card post from Mark Hill. Too many M's there. Sorry. I cannot remember exactly. I know I traded for this, so it was like maybe $40 to $50 trade valuation. But this was a item total of $34 and shipping $4.50. Shipping label is $4.36. And then transaction fees was almost an exact $5. It was $4.99 for a order earnings of $29.15. So again, net loss. You just got to keep it moving. I needed to become cash positive. I tried a story sale with most all of these cards on Instagram. I definitely got feedback saying the prices were too high. Some people said prices were okay, but there just weren't very liquid cards or people didn't want them. Also, of course, it's not like I have the biggest following on Instagram to be able to do like these story sales that are super successful. I would maybe put a little plug in here about my card post, who has been a sponsor in the past, but this is not one of the sponsored posts because they're not paying me to do this. But like if I'm able to trade and if I can't get a card shows and I just want to trade some of my old inventory or my old cards, and I don't want to, you can't trade on eBay, right? You can trade on Instagram, but you could also get scammed. Buying on my card post is free. You can just make a free account. and selling is like almost like a Netflix subscription, meaning it's just like a monthly fee every month, and it's a wonderful community. So I'm going to keep moving on because this is not supposed to be, or it wasn't meant to be a sponsored ad read. 2020 Panini Michael Thomas on the horizon. This one I do believe was also a trade with, if it wasn't Mark, it was with another My Card Post community member. This one's going to North Dakota, it seems like. Oh, okay, cool. This one is a PSA 9 case hit pop 15 one higher. That's how I put the listing title, basically stretching it out to the full 80 character count limit on eBay listings. This, I thought I was going to get over $100. Again, that's the unpredictability of eBay listings. But of course, you know that in 7 days, so long as the buyer pays, which, by the way, I had 25 auctions. Only 7 people have paid within like 12 to 24 hours, which is just incredible. But and what I learned from this card is case hits. Just because it's a case hit does not mean that it's highly coveted. This is an older case hit, or not older. It's only 4 years ago. It's 2020 Panini, and it's a shiny card. It almost looks like a downtown. Again, I'll try to talk about some of these cards in detail so that the people listening on audio can understand or get a picture in their mind. But it's almost like a solar or a flare of a refracting hologram or silver. It's sunburst. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's like the middle of the card. It's like the sun, and there's like rays coming out, and it really is a pretty card. The behind Michael Thomas is like a music note. There's some small handcrafted dolls in the background. I don't know what that is. Maybe like someone in a festival and some clouds. So definitely like that New Orleans feel. But I mean, if you told me these were the cases that people highly coveted, I would not think otherwise, that it was wrong. Like, it's a beautiful card. So I will say it is a horizontal card. And what I have definitely learned in the past year or so is there was almost like a hierarchy of cards. People are like, well, horizontal RPAs are not as coveted as vertical RPAs. For some people listening, you're like, of course that's the case. And for some people, you're like, what? Is that really true? I mean, we all have different learning curves and different times when we came back into the hobby. And also it's weird, right? Because it's like other people telling us what to like and what not to like. And, that I think is kind of silly as well. But for this card, $56, subtotal, shipping $4.50, shipping label is $4.11. Transaction fees was $8.12 for total order earnings of $48.27 for this case hit low pop card. But it is a PSA 9. But apparently it's hard to gem. 15 pop 15 in PSA 9, only one higher in PSA 10. All right, how many more cards do we have? This might be the last one. And it's probably the one that I really should have sold a lot sooner. I think this is the last one. And then maybe I'll do another video down the road when I have other payments come through. But I wanted to make this video before I went to the post office and ship them away. They are ready to be, sealed with packing tape, which is very important. And I use reinforced cardboard when I do bubble mailers. And so I try to handle all of the packages that people buy from me with care, because, I want to build, trust, and relationships are important, and hopefully there'll be a repeat buyer. But also I just, it's the golden rule. I'm talking way too fast. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you, right? So I'm definitely clearing 30 minutes on this video. On this podcast episode. So this one is a 2023 Topps Silver Pack Christopher Morel autograph. It is numbered. It's numbered out of 249, and it's a PSA 10. It is a sticker auto, but it's a silver pack. It's an auto. Now, what's important about this card, what I learned is I don't PC baseball players. If they're Korean, I will. If they're from the Nationals, I may have some interest. If the retired and veteran players, for sure. But when it comes to this particular card, I bought it because there was a little bit of a hype train in 2023 with Christopher Morel as a rookie coming in, and just uh, a year later, fast forward to August of 2024, and his market is down the tank. And the thing is, I had this graded, and it's in the 7 series, meaning I don't exactly know how. We all know that PSA and other grading companies put their serial numbers in a sequential number. And so, if it's nine, what is it, like 90 million or whatever the serial number, if it's a 9 series, let's call it 9 series. If it's a 9 series, that it was graded like recent, most definitely in 2024. The ones with like 0, 1, and 2, those are like some of the earliest cards that PSA ever graded. So this 7 series was graded in 2023, and I vaulted it with Arena Club and I let it sit. I didn't shop around too much, but at one point I was looking for like 150 on it because, the market I thought maybe was going to bear about over $100 for this card. And let me go to where it says, I'm trying to scroll on here it is. It is I didn't put the pop number, maybe because it was high. It's not like you're concealing something if you don't put the pop number on a listing, but I do think it's good if it's a low pop to put it in the listing title. That's just, again, that's not like ironclad. It's not, if you have room in the title listing, right? Because you only get 80 characters. But I didn't put the pop count in the title listing. This one is going to New York. It's funny. It's going really close. I should have just hand delivered this. It's going really close to where the Javits Center is. That's all I'll say about the buyer. But this one is, total was, again, I was looking for over 100. I bought it raw for about $40 and got it graded for like $56, $60. And so it sold for $23.50, shipping $4.50. I make a little bit of money maybe on the shipping label because it was only $3.86, which is, I think, the lowest shipping that eBay does with its own labels. And the transaction fee was $4.04 for a total earnings of $20.10, which is literally just $4 over the cost of grading the card. And it's a numbered auto rookie silver pack. Again, maybe if I was a consigner, maybe if I was a bigger eBay seller, this would have gotten more. I don't know how much more. I mean, it likely would have gotten more eyeballs for sure. And maybe 2 Christopher Morel fans could have gone into a bidding war, and this could have gone higher. But also his market, and at this point, who knows how long he's going to last in the league. I don't really watch too much baseball. This was, I guess, one of my earlier flip attempts, but what I've realized is I'm not a great flipper because I just hold on to cards, right? Like, why would I vault with any place, but like not just Arena Club, but if I wasn't looking to like auction it or sell it off real quick. So lessons learned on this one. It stings, but it's not like a huge loss. Again, the buyer paid with shipping and tax $30.49, and I'm netting $20 out of this after transaction fees and the shipping label and taxes as well. And I hope the buyer enjoys the card. I think they got a really good deal, and I don't have to. I mean, I actually like shipping. Someone was like, again, why don't you vault? Why don't you ship? Why don't you have someone else handle the shipping and the listing? I would say maybe the listing is a little of a pain, but I like taking pictures. A lot of these, the thing I do like about PSA is they do make transacting the cards a lot easier mainly because you put in the cert number, as a lot of right? I mean, I don't know how many people don't know this, but the thing I really do like is with PSA's app, you can just kind of go to the card. You can save. You don't even have to screenshot. You just save it to your camera roll, front, back, and both sides. So I usually have 3 pictures for my slabs. It's the front, the back, and then the front back in the same photo. For raw, I do like 2. I do the front and the back. And if buyers ask, or potential buyers ask me for more photos, I send it to them. And so it just makes it a lot easier. You almost don't even have to have your physical cards with you. Like, for instance, if I was on the train to Fanatics Fest or a train commuting somewhere, definitely don't do it while driving. But if you have time and you know what cards you have and you have your comp tool, whether it's 130 point. I made a deal with the owner of 130 point over the weekend, which was cool. Card Ladder, I did get to see Chris Hoge briefly at Fanatics Fest, or Market Movers, which is owned by Jeff Wilson, and I also made a trade with him as well. But those are just 3 tools within the hobby for pricing and comping, as a lot of you may already know. And you have your comp tool, you have your eBay app, and you have PSA, right? Just those 3 things. And you can start listing, whether it is auctions or buy it nows, fixed prices, best offers, all that stuff. So anyway, wow, I am at the 25-minute mark. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know. I'm always trying different things with my content, trying different, not to, it really, I want to try to maybe do more educational. I've been talking to some other creators about it. A lot of us, I think it is easy to do like funny stuff. And I do love making people laugh and have a good time. But as I gain more knowledge, or as I'm learning more, I would love to share that with my viewership, my followership. I don't even like the word followers. Like, you guys are card friends. And so thank you. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I thought I would never say something like that. And now I'm finding myself, it's every time I say it, it gets easier and easier. But please, if you're listening to this on podcast, thank you so much for listening. Please DM me on Instagram at Denny_cards. You can email the show at hobbysthompson@gmail.com. You can reach out. Well, I guess those are the two ways if you're listening on podcast. I think Spotify is trying to make people like these polls and questions, like they want some more engagement within their own ecosystem. So that's interesting. Please leave a review on Apple, I guess. That's the other thing. Only if it's 5 stars, though, nothing less. Just kidding. And then on YouTube, great thing about YouTube, you can leave a comment below. Tell me which card you like the most. Tell me which one was the biggest loss. Because I think almost all of these, that's what I will finally say. I don't have the final tally. I didn't get a chance to do that. But when I look at these cards and what they've sold for, I think for every single one, I am taking a loss on, whether it was pack pulled or purchased and then graded, whether I purchased it graded, whether I purchased it raw and graded it, or whether I pack pulled and then graded it. I'm struggling to find a single instance, or traded for it. I'm struggling to find a single instance where I'm like reasonably content with the final price. But what I am reasonably content with is getting these, in a way, like stale inventory or not very desired or valued cards that don't transact often, not because that they're rare, but because people just there aren't public sales on them because people aren't buying them. I'm glad for them to leave my house, and I'm glad they're going to buyers who wanted to buy them. I mean, maybe they're that Yao Ming collector. The buyer from China, he's got to be a Yao Ming collector. I doubt he's a flipper. Maybe he's a flipper, but I wasn't selling downtowns and kabooms. I learned early on with my eBay sales, like I sold a kaboom Dalvin Cook that I graded myself for way too low. And I there is a thing about auctions that I do like. The psychology behind the auction is very interesting, and I learn more about it as I burp. So I think that means I am talking way too fast. I think I should slow down next time, but I am just trying to get this order out. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in, and I can't wait to show you guys what I have in store for the Fanatics Fest vlogs, and just continuing to share my journey. So thank you all so much. Be well, and until next time, take care.